Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. On today's video, I'm going to be starting a new series where I'm going to be solving this year's Advent of Code. I plan on recording some episodes and streaming some if I can. So we're just going to start by marathoning 1, 2, and 3. So without any further ado, let's just get started. This is the first time I'm looking at the problem, and this might not be like the most efficient way to solve it, but I'm just going to try and solve it, lead you through the thought process that I'm going through, and everything. So, okay, let's just create the project. Let's just read the problem while we're at it. Uh, the Your actual left and right lists contain many location IDs. What is the total distance between your lists? Okay. Uh, I'm just gonna authorize GitHub. Okay. Let's get the puzzle input. I'm gonna copy it, place it here, place it in a new text file called input.txt. Contain all the input. These are lots. So the idea is we first need to have a class that can contain a data structure that can hold these two numbers, right? So we can either go for one list on the left and another on the right, and get the lowest, move them to another another object. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll have a class that's gonna be a pair. Uh, that is gonna be a pair, and the pair has this int int x and int y. Maybe it's better if we name it something else, but I'm just gonna call it that. Let me just disable GitHub Copilot um, so that it's our own solution. Okay, so we have x and y, and we'll have distance. Okay, int. We're gonna have a public uh, public int distance. It's gonna be the x minus y, and I'm just gonna use mass dot absolute value because I'm guessing distance can be negative. All right, so to read the data, wait, let me just try this. Just tr the pair. Okay, I didn't print out the distance of the pair. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Okay, this one is correct. Okay, so let's just go back and look at the logic. So let's just load everything up into pairs, right? So it's gonna be something like um, var file raw equals to file dot read all text. Gonna be input txt. I'm just gonna set uh, this one as the working directory so that we can just have it there. Let's just write line file row the first 100 characters and confirm that it works. Okay, it works. Next, What we have is, wait, let me just see. Getting the suggestions, but okay. Um, File row. Let's just parse the file rows. I think it's separated by tab or a space, right? So we'll just load. We'll just take the first int, take the second int, put it into the tab, but we'll read lines. Yeah, and gonna be string array. You can use the new what's it called? I think it's the collection expressions. That's new in .NET 8. And we're gonna parse for each line, for each line in file raw. Then we're gonna say uh, var items. Var items is gonna be line dot split by space. Uh, item 0 is gonna be converted to int. We can use what's it called? Link expressions to just convert it all. So I think it's called cast to, or we can just select x dot, for x we're gonna select int dot parse uh, and again I'll convert that into an array, an int array, 2 items. So then we're gonna say var pair equals to var pair equals to new pair uh, items index 0 and items index 1. We're gonna have a list of pairs. It's gonna be a list because we're gonna add pairs dynamically. A list pair, pairs, and I'm just gonna add it to the pair. Okay. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is, okay, it's gonna be a bit difficult. So instead of adding it to into into pairs first, I'm just gonna create two separate int lists, list of int uh, a ace and list of ints b's. Now I'm gonna add ace dot add items index 0 and b dot add items index 1. This is because later on I'm just gonna say ace equals to ace dot descending ascending. What's it? Order dot to list. I again I can use collection expressions here. B's. Okay, so once I have those sorted, it's just a matter of uh, going through each one and adding them onto a pairs list. List of pair uh, pairs. It's gonna be a new pair, and I'll use collection initialization syntax. So here we can just push pairs dot add new it's gonna be A's index I and B's index I. Then we can do int uh, distance sum gonna be equal to pairs dot sum, and a pair p dot distance, and console dot write line distance sum. I think this is it. Let's try it first with the example string so that it's easier to debug. Don't wanna. The string was not in correct format. Line width. Wait. Input string was not. Oh, okay. I need to. I need to. What's it called? Like remove the duplicates. I'm gonna create a function that's gonna remove adjacent spaces and compress them into one. Basically, I'm just gonna call it preprocess. Process like this. Process, and it's gonna take in the string. It's gonna take in the line, and I think it has. Well, it always has three spaces. So I'm just gonna say return line dot replace 1 2 3, and it's gonna be just one space. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even need a function for this, but let it just be. Okay. So 11 was the answer that they got. Yeah, total distance of 11. Okay. Let me just use the full list. And let's see how it goes. So the answer is this one. Hopefully it's correct. That's the right answer. Okay, great. So we can continue to part two. Okay, part two. For part two, I'm just gonna create another project. Let me convert this to .NET 9. I'm gonna create another project for this because I'm gonna create a GitHub containing all my submission. So it's gonna be, what's it called? Date. And two. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, we can do this. We're gonna oh wait, let me have a new we're gonna have a new input.txt, and let me just have this in here. We're gonna reuse most of the code we used previously, so it's gonna be the file reading code specifically. Let me just add this here. And on the left list, right list, yeah, I think we're gonna need that one too. we're not gonna order it anymore, and we're not gonna need to calculate the distance. So I think everything we need is here. So okay, continuing, we're gonna go for a stroke count, and we're gonna have a similarity score. Similarity score equals to 0 at first, and we're gonna have a similarity. Okay, wait. Similarity score is gonna be how many times that number appears. Okay, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna have a variable called a, and it's gonna be that number, and we're gonna check how many times a appears in b. Count in b equals to b dot count, and it's gonna be where it's gonna be a, basically. It's gonna be where b equals a, right? Then int similarity is gonna be a times count in b, so we can just do that, and instead of returning, we're just gonna console the right line the similarity score. Wait, I think I'm wait. Let me change the parent project to be day 2, and day 2 debug properties. Let me take this, change it to day 2, and I think we're good. Okay, so this should work. 31. I get 31, and the answer was 31. So let me just get. Okay, I'm gonna use the same input. This okay. I think the inputs are gonna be the same. So I'll just use this again to calculate. Take it back to here, run the code again, and similarity score is gonna be something like this. And let's just submit. That's the right answer. Great. So far we've done both on our first try. We have 2 stars. I think we have one more remaining. So let me just refresh. Okay, each question has multiple parts, so I forgot about that. Okay, so it was a two-part question. Let's go to day number 2. So, okay, it was not day number 2 then. Okay, it was not day number 2. I'm just gonna name it day 1, part 2. This one to day 1, part 1. Great. They also shared the same output, the same input file. So I think I'm gonna restructure this before I upload it to the GitHub, and we'll use that new structure as we move on. I'm gonna add a new project. It's gonna be a console app. It's gonna be day 2, part 1. Sir, how many reports are safe? Okay, so it's gonna be the safe and unsafe count. Great. So this one is going to, okay, we're gonna copy it back here, close every other input so we're not confused by this. Input text. Let's get our input. Wait, first let's try it out with the example data. And let's just get started. So file raw is gonna be each line, uh, and we're gonna have these levels and this report, and each entry is a level. Okay, so it's gonna be a line by line thing. So we're gonna call that the report. Report. We're gonna have a new class called report. Uh, Not yet sure what it's gonna contain. It's gonna contain the list of ints, right? An array of ints. Wait, assuming that all the data in the puzzle input is gonna be either, okay, they're gonna have non-uniform lengths. So instead of doing that, it's gonna just be a list of ints. This for now. The report can accept a list of int, and it's gonna be called levels. Well, in this case, we don't need this. We're gonna need a function that is gonna be called it's gonna be a bool is safe public public bool is safe. It's okay. Let's return false at the end. And we're gonna do something like is safe. Okay, can we use link somehow? Okay, okay. I think I got an idea on how we can. Okay, we can keep track of a number called delta. Delta is gonna change every step, right? And if at any point delta switched from being positive to negative, that is not gonna be safe. So bool is okay, wait, increasing. It's gonna be here. So we're gonna assume it's gonna be decreasing at first. It's totally arbitrary, and delta is gonna be 0 at first. We're gonna go through each level for each int level and levels. No, wait, we need to do the following. For int uh, I is less than levels to count. Plus, okay, I is gonna be starting at 1 because we're gonna check I minus 1 with the current index. So let's just do that. Int previous is gonna be levels index minus 1. Int current is gonna be levels index I. And delta is gonna be equal to previous minus current or current minus previous. If it's increasing, delta should be positive. So yeah, it's gonna be current minus previous. So right here, let it be a boolean. It's gonna be null at first. Okay, it's gonna be null at first if increasing is an object. Not yet good. Use of unassigned. Okay. Yeah, I'm not yet good at using pattern matching. That is definitely something I need to work on. But currently I'm gonna need 3 booleans. No. I can use an int. Yeah, I can use an int, and 0 can be increasing. Uh, wait, direction. direction can be 0. We need a ternary value, some way to store 3 states, which is increasing, not yet set, and decreasing. So if direction is 0, then we're gonna set uh, the positive if delta is positive or negative, right? So if direction equals to 0, we're gonna set direction. It's gonna be the delta. What was that way to get the sign of something? I think it's delta divided by math dot absolutes, so that we can get absolute delta. So if delta is -10 and we divide by 10, it's going to be -1. If delta is 10 and we divide by 10, it's going to be 1. So yeah, delta is going to be, direction is going to be this one. So once we set the direction, we're never going to set it again. If new direction, okay, and then we're going to check new direction. Int new dir equals to delta divided by math dot absolute delta. And if it doesn't match, if direction is not equal to new direction, then we're going to return false, because it's not going to be safe. If, yeah, let's do the simple checks first. If delta is less than 1, if absolute value of delta, I'm going to use it, I think int delta absolute is going to be math with absolute delta. And yeah, if delta is less than 1, or if delta is greater than 3, then we return false because it's not safe. And at least 1 and at most 3. I think we're done with the report class. So let's just load all the reports. It's gonna be a list of ints from the file row. Each line is gonna be separated by space. Okay, so we can do something as simple as let's take this down a little. We can do something as simple as select the select function. So we're gonna say list of reports. It's gonna be reports. It's gonna be something like file dot select a line. It's gonna be line. It's gonna be something like line dot split by a space, and we're gonna select an int. We're gonna select it by doing int.parse. Then that line is gonna be a new report. New report, and we'll convert to a list by using the new collection expression, and it's gonna be a list. We can either do toList, or we can use the new collection expression again. So in just one line, we are able to parse the file into a list of reports. So for each report, we're gonna just sum up for each report, we're just gonna count of reports that is not safe. That is safe, I think we're gonna return. Okay, the safe ones. We're just gonna return the safe ones. So int safe count equals to reports dot count. We're gonna count the report that is r dot is safe. And console dot write line, we can just output the safe count. Okay, so we have that input loaded, right? It should return 2. The output should be 2. 0. Okay, I think we're messing something up. Uh, is it with, okay, let's just set a breakpoint and see how the data is being handled. Wait, right here. Okay, so I is gonna be 1. Um, let's see. Previous is gonna be 7. Current is gonna be 6. 7, 6. 4, 2, 1. The first one is supposed to be safe, I think. Yeah, the first one is gonna be safe. So let's see where this goes wrong. Let's open up the what's that? The variables list. Yeah, here. Okay, let's just continue. Delta is decreasing. We've set delta, and direction is also set to be -1. Okay. Direction is -1. It's once it's set, it shouldn't be. The delta absolute is gonna be 0. Why is that? Delta was -1. Okay, it's not yet set. So the delta absolute is 1. Oh, okay. This one is an or. Uh, is less than, and this one should be end. So I think that was the only issue we had. Let's just run it again. C. Attempt to divide by 0. Yeah. Why would it be 0? Because there's no repeating value. But if delta is 0, we'll just return again. And just move this snippet up. Let's just run this. Wait, I'm missing something. If it's in between, I just want to check. Okay, let's just invert this. If it's greater than 0 and less than 3, return false. That doesn't make sense. I know the problem is around here because 0 shouldn't be admitted into the value list. Okay, let's do if it's less than 0. If it's less than 1, we just return false. And if delta is greater than 3, we also return false. Okay, again, we're having an issue. Let's just go back and do it again. All levels are all increasing or all decreasing. We set direction equals 0, the new direction. Let's use delta absolute here. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we should be using delta absolute to just check the gap. This should not work. It's not working. What is the issue? If it's less than one, if it's less than one, um, if it's less than one, then it should be false. And if it's greater than three, it should be false. Yeah, that's the distance basically, the jump between the current and the previous, the difference between the two. This part of the code is correct. If direction equals to 0, because direction is going to be set as 0 when we begin, right? And if it's set as that, it's going to be, once it's set, it's going to be set for the whole, what do you call it? For the whole loop. So it's not going to be set again. Now, the new direction is calculated every step. This and this should match as always. Okay, let's just do the debugging again. Okay, let's go step by step into the code. Delta absolute. It's 1. Is it less than 1? No. It's 1. Is it greater than 3? No. It continues. The code is working all up until now. Direction is set. Direction is -1. And new direction. Whoa. Why did it just skip? New direction is also 1. -1. If it's not, it just skipped. Okay. Let's get the one where it's... Let's do the one where it goes into the false condition. Oh, okay. If nothing happens, it should return true. That was the case. Okay, I think we solved it now. Once and for all. 2. Which is the right number. Let's just use the given input. And let's just try with that and submit our answer. Because it's now gonna work. 670. Let's give it this one. Submit. Great, that's the right answer. Let's continue to part 2. They're gonna use the same input, so how should I do this? I think I'm just gonna move them into a class. More structured and organized. We have the input. Again, we're gonna process the part 2, tolerate a single bad level. Engineers are surprised by the low number of safe reports until they realize they forget to tell you about the problem dampener. The problem dampener is a reactor mounted module that lets the reactor safety systems tolerate a single bad level in what would otherwise be a safe report. It's like the bad level never happened, Now, the same rules apply as before, except if removing a single level from an unsafe report would make it safe, the report instead counts it safe. Okay, we can do that. Uh, we can do that. So we're just gonna clone. I know it's not. I know is it. I know it's not best practice, but it should have its own class because we're gonna modify it, and everyone would like to see the answer to that. So is safe should actually keep account of the unsafe ones. Safe ones. Let it make keep of the safe ones. Instead of returning true, single bad level, levels don't count, total int total equals to levels don't count, safe levels or unsafe levels. Unsafe levels. So instead of returning false, we increment unsafe levels and return, of course, and continue the loop. Continue. Uh, unsafe levels plus plus, and we continue. Unsafe levels plus plus, and we continue. So the thing is, if unsafe levels are uh, either equal are either 0 or 1, we tolerate it. So we return either if unsafe levels is equal to 1, equal to 0, or unsafe levels is equal to 1. Right? So this should be the new answer, and get answer should be exactly the same as part 1. Okay, let's just run part 2. Part 2. Let me just comment out part 1. Get answer so that somebody can try it later. Now we're trying part 2. So it's 697. Should be the correct answer. Is that the case? 4 reports are actually safe. Let's just try this one. The input, change the input. 6, it returned 6. 4 reports should be safe. Okay, I think it's tolerate a single bad level. This should have worked. 3 and 1, 2 and 3. Okay, this is where it gets a bit tricky because yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be that simple. Bad level never happened. Okay, we're gonna tolerate 1, and instead of continuing, right? Instead of if unsafe levels, right? Let's just have a function called unsafe. Yeah, unsafe found. So it's gonna be a void unsafe found. Unsafe levels will be increased, and if unsafe levels is gonna be 1, then it should actually return false, false. This one it can't return. Okay, wait. Let it return a boolean, and otherwise it's gonna return true. Okay, wait. Uh, check if dampened dampened if unsafe levels equals to 1 is greater than 1, then it's not gonna be dampened. If not, it's gonna be dampened. So if it's dampened, we gotta ignore it. So uh, we gotta check if it's dampened, right? So uh, if dampened, then if dampened, then we just continue. If not, we just return false. Else, we just return false. Let me just copy this code over here to here. So this should return. Okay, it's the same code. I'm not sure if I'm getting it. Greater than or equal to 1, maybe. That's not the case. It's equal to 1, which should have returned 4. Let's see which ones it's returning false for. Or for each var report in reports, then gonna console.writeLine report.isSafe. Which ones does it think it is actually safe? Okay, I don't think it's doing. I don't think it's the mechanism is working. I don't think this mechanism is working. Regardless of which level is removed, we just tolerate one level. Okay, if it's dampened, we also gotta increase I by 1 so that we ignore that level. Okay, so in addition to continuing, I think dampen, I should move it right here. We should also increase the, what's it called? We should also increase, wait. What was I thinking? The I, yeah, we should also I plus plus. I plus plus? No. If levels equals I plus greater than or equal to 1. What was the thing I originally did? Oh, wait. It's equal to 1. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm stuck on part number two. The video has already been long enough, I think. It's been 1 hour. Nice. So this is gonna be the last problem I solve. I'm gonna try and look through unsafe reports. This where the problem dampener can remove a single level. I think I'm gonna go the brute force route. I think if it's unsafe, if it's unsafe, unsafe equals to 1. If I return true, maybe this should work. It never reached that part of the code, I think. Okay, everything will be false. This one should be true. The dampen function should remove that one, which is already, yeah, but the I plus plus, I think I get it because here when it checks, right? So is everything is decreasing. Here something increased. So it was increasing. The next time it checks it, it is decreasing. So if it's the first time that it encountered a decreasing value, it just continues. It just continues and checks, starting from here. Mm, if okay, yeah, I think it should only be incremented if unsafe levels are less than 1. It's still not working. If dampen, I don't think we should continue here. Yeah, I think we should just call dampen. We should just return dampen or something. No. Instead of continuing, we return true. Oh, the dampen function was already handling it for us. So if not dampen, yeah, okay, not true. We just continue. That's the correct logic. Okay, it says true. Um, okay, the problem dampener. Okay. I mean, my approach is almost perfect. I mean, this is what I would have done, but I think there's an issue with it. Let's just go through the code, right? As if it is okay. What's the if? Mm, I'm running through it. True is returned. Okay, is safe, right? The second one should be unsafe. Okay, the second one should be unsafe. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run until cursor. What's it called? Control F10. Control F10. Did it print false? Okay, it printed false. Again, I'm gonna Control F10. Right. So the third one was unsafe, but it should be safe. So let's see where it went wrong. Let's just step into it. Okay, this one should return safe. The direction, it says it once, then the direction changes, right? So F10. Yes, okay. Direction is not equal to 0. Direction was 1, but the new direction would be -1, right? So here, this one. If let's get into dampened, is it dampened? Okay, the value. Is it dampened? What's that? Step into F11. Is it dampened? We increase unsafe levels by 1. If unsafe levels equals to 1, oh, it's always returning false because, okay, yeah, I get it. I think this one should be 2 and we're good to go. Because it should tolerate just 1. It's tolerating everything. If unsafe levels equals to 2, uh, okay, I think it should increment after everything. Again, it's just returning everything. Unsafe levels because this one should run anyways, right? It should also run here. Uh, even though it gets checked, unsafe levels. Let me just run. I put here, here, the first one, the second, 2 true is not is equal to 1. 2, true. You just pin it up here. Why is it true? Why is it true? That's what I wanted to check. The next one, yeah, yeah, okay, the 2, these 2, true. Okay, let's see. F1 continue, I think. Running the code as if it's gonna change anything, but uh, I think we need to the damn function should be Maybe we should start unsafe levels and -1 and have this increment nonetheless and increment the I. Oh, I don't think it should increment the I. Hmm. Should increment the I. Always. It should increment the I always. If dampened is true, why am I doing this? I think I should return dampened. Or the inverse of dampened. Not quite sure. Oh, I'm not resetting it every level. It should be a per level thing, I think. Oh, no, no, no. It's corrected. Return the inverse of dampened. Okay, we're back to the first case. So we'll need to increment I only if it's not yet reached that value. Or is it? Okay, I am lost here. And the video is almost a minute and 12. Okay. Let me just rewrite the whole code. Let me just start from square one, get the code from part one, and I think I should start it. Part. I'm gonna restart again. This one is the normal code. It doesn't pardon just one level. If one level is mistaken, it doesn't do that. So I'm just gonna do, instead of returning false, it should continue. Let me just fix it for one, the first case, and then I'll do it for the other. So it should just continue. If, or it should if int mistakes are gonna be 0. If mistakes plus plus is gonna be greater than 0, it's gonna be greater than 1. Else we just return false. I think this is the way it should be. Okay, mistakes plus plus is greater than 2, greater than 2, greater than 2 maybe. Is less than, is less than 1, is less than 2. I think it should be less than 2. Everything is true, but if we do is less than 1, because once it goes out from there, Everything is true then. Okay. I gotta admit I'm confused. I'm just gonna start again from scratch, where everything is gonna be returned false. Or the index to remove. Yeah, I think I need to do that. For x, which is 0, it goes. I think this one is the option, the brute force option. I didn't want to do brute force, but yeah, levels to count. I'm gonna create a new, uh, which is gonna be the a copy of the levels, right? Var LVLs temporary is gonna be not levels x, it's gonna be levels dot remove at remove wait dot levels dot contains wait all find let me just clone this, copy this. I'm just lvls dot lvls equal lvls dot remove right x. We're gonna use lvls temp everywhere here, and uh and then for each, if we remove one, what are we checking for again? Same rules apply as before, except if removing a single level from an unsafe report, this would make it safe, right? If removing, if any of these cases, okay, so Boolean, the Boolean is safe. Um, Delta ABS. Oh, okay. Maybe I can use the same report structure, checking for is safe, but removing one, right? So we can have the public pool is safe as a an override, a polymorphic uh what's it called? Input, right? We can have the normal one be this, but it takes in a list of int levels, right? So this one will be private because it's not going to be used from outside. And here, the bool. Okay. So wait, it's going to be our report. Is going to be a new report, and the level is going to be levels temp. Is safe is going to be report.isSafe. So what do we do with this information? Yeah, we just uh account for how many wrong we get, and if only one, if we remove one, and the safe levels are different, right? If the safe levels are different, uh, is this one safe? We need to count the is safe, right? So let's have this counter. Oh, if one is true, so let's say is safe equals false, and is safe should be this. Return the is safe. Yeah, false, false, false. Uh, is safe. Break. Wait. Is safe should be is safe. 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 Okay. If is safe is false, we move into this. If safe, we just return true. Else, we just do this. And if it's safe, we just return true. Else, we just return false. Oh my, okay, okay. Note this is safe. The one with the levels input. I think it's true. I'm confused by this, to be honest. I don't think I'll be able to solve this. The first three parts were really easy, but this one, it's been getting me. If, right? If it's safe, so if it's safe, it should just return safe. That was correct. For each of the levels, if we remove levels temp and check if report. Oh, if reporter is safe, then it's gonna check by removing the next one. So we're gonna have another one called checkers. Check remove is gonna be false by default. It's gonna be true by default. By default, here we're gonna say false. Hmm. Oh, I didn't set the check remove. What is it gonna do? This, this. Damn, I just got it to work. Phew. The answer was four, as it's checked, right? Okay. Let me uh, let me be back here. Set. Ooh, I just finally solved day one and day two. This is gonna be the final problem. I'm gonna run the code, get the value, which is gonna be 700. Hopefully it's correct. I'm not sure. That's the right answer. Phew. I got 4 stars for today. I think that's gonna be enough. I've already spent like an hour and 30 minutes trying to do this. So that's it for today. We solved 2 days worth of questions. four parts, and this was it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you gained insights on how I do problem solving with code. Even though it was not an optimal solution, I'm pretty sure there's a better solution. But yeah, we did it. Yeah, and I'll be uploading the code to GitHub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the GitHub if you want to learn more about it. Thank you for watching, and bye.